Points of discussions. What is meant by state management? What is the need of state management? Is state management applicable to web? State management. The application when executing creates objects or instances of class when required and destroyed when not required. Resources like memory, files, or network connections, system resources like specific hardware are allocated to object when created and released when destroyed. The state of the object is to be maintained by the application. Need of state management. Websites are not a continuously running application. It executes on server when request from client comes for a particular interactive and a dynamic page. The server may create many objects or instance of the class when generating the dynamic page. The page once created is sent as a response to the requesting client browser. The objects created are destroyed on the server. Now, let's understand state management in Windows and web application. Launch Visual Studio to create Windows and web application to demonstrate need of state management. Select Create New Project option. Select Desktop for creating Windows application. It has a graphical user interface. It displays a window when executed. Also select C#.NET language. Specify name of project being developed. Now let's select the default name. Also specify the path where the application is to be saved. Visual Studio.NET creates the Windows application and provides Form1 as the object of the form class that inherits from form class defined in System, Windows, Forms namespace. The Solution Explorer window displays the components of the Windows application. The code in C#.NET that defines the class Form1 inherits from the form class with the Form1 class constructor method. Recall, constructors are used to initialize the object or instance of the class being created. Our aim here to demonstrate that Windows application is a continuously running application that maintains its state during execution. A state refers to values of the instance variables or fields of the class at that instant of time. Here we use two graphical user interface component label and text box. It is there in a Visual Studio in the toolbox component. To place it on Form1, either double-click on the component or drag it from Toolbox to Windows Form. The label and button objects are created when placed on Form1. Visual Studio has Properties window to set properties or values of the field of the label and button objects created. The values of these fields decide the look and feel of these components on the Form1. Also, form properties can be customized to change the look and feel of the form. Form1. Text property decide the title displayed in title bar of the form. Following properties of label are used here. Name, to give name to the label object to refer to it in code. Font, to customize its look and feel. Text, to display caption or text on the label. following properties of button object are used. Name, to give as per its functionality xbtn is prefixed to indicate that it button and increment is its functionality. Font, to customize its look. Text, it appears as caption on button object. The event handler for button click is added to the code. It is actually a procedure which is executed when button is clicked. In Form 1 class, an instance variable I is created to store and maintain count value. It is initialized to 1 in the constructor of the Form 1 class. In button click handler procedure, it is increment by 1 and assigned to the text property of label object to display the increment count. Now, let's run and test the developed Windows application. Observe that with every on increment button, the increment count is displayed on the text property of the label. Now, let's test the same application developed as a web application. Click on Solution Name in Solution Explorer window to add a new ASP.NET Web Form application in C#.NET language. Visual Studio creates the web application. Visual Studio develops the default website with Home, Contact, and About pages. The Solution Explorer displays its different components. It also uses Master Page to have same look and feel across different web pages. Now set website as the startup project to test it. A web application is displayed in browser window. This is the default home page created by VisualStudio.net. It displays links to Home, About, and Contact pages. A new web form is added to demonstrate the functionality of the increment logic as demonstrated in Windows application. A web form has two views, one source view that displays XHTML and another design view that displays how web page will look in browser window. Developers often loves to work in the design view. ASP.NET web controls are similar to the Windows interface components. Here also, a label and a button is placed on the web form. It is customized using properties window as done in case of window application. Double-click on Increment button to add its event handler procedure. Observe that the web form page is also a class that inherits the page class defined in the system, web.ui namespace. An instance variable I is declared in test page class. In the Increment button click, it is increment by 1 and assigned to the text property of the label. This code corresponds to the master page to have the uniform look and feel of the web pages. The link for the test page created is added here. Let's test the developed web application. It is displayed in the browser window. Now click Test Page link in the menu bar. It displays the developed page with labels set to display count and increment to see increment count. Clicking on Increment button not displaying increment count. In Windows application, the form object is destroyed when application is closed. Therefore, it maintains the value of the counter variable I. However, web application are based on client-server model. With every request from client, page class object is created and server-side events executes on server and corresponding HTML code is generated and sent to the client. The page object is destroyed on server. It is recreated on another request so all instance variables are lost. Thank you for watching this video on state management. For more information, please visit my blog. Check description.